She's really phenomenal. She's extremely sensitive. And I thought, oh, she's special.
She is incredibly gifted at helping people transform themselves.
Oftentimes, people will go to you when they are in the middle of a big shift. Am I right?
Yeah.
And you do it artistically for them with hair, makeup, styles. Am I right? So I know that when you were cutting my hair a couple weeks ago, it's like you were talking to it. It was talking to you. And there's this whole exchange or communication going on between you and your art. And so share how that's really affected people's lives and how you do it.
Well, just a little background. Ever since I was 4 years old, I wanted to style hair. It was just like this weird thing that I wanted to do. And so, and I'm 37 now, so in my 20s, I got licensed and I went down like that path of, you know, I won all these awards and they put me in, you know, the upscale salons wanted me and I was in there, and it was like really, I learned some things, but it was really uncool. Like, you know, people were very backstabbing. It was like very like sort of hardcore environment to be in on a daily basis. So I kept stepping in and out of different kinds of salons, Japanese salons, kids salons, and I kept going back to nature and doing my own experimental stuff. So I guess over the past 17 years, I've gotten to a place where I've developed what I call shamanic hairstyling. And I find that like I'm given some kind of gift that I'm able to ask certain questions. Well, like you said, if somebody's coming to me, I know that they're going through a transformation. That's why they're in front of me. So I start to find out what's the truth of what's really behind this transformation. Okay, so who were you and who are you becoming or want to become? And so I truly believe that through image, through your hair, through what you wear, you know, your frame, if the eyes are like the windows to the soul, you know, what's the frame? So, and I know from my other profession while I was doing hair, I moved here from LA, I was a performer, and so I was always playing different characters and dressing up in different things and exploring different archetypes, and I'd get that thing like you was telling me, I always got butterflies and I always get anxiety, and I'd get in front of the mirror and as I'd start painting my face and tying things into my hair and putting my clothes on, I became a completely different kind of aspect of myself. Like I became empowered and stuff. So my intention is that with a client, so I mean I choose to look radical. That's my expression of myself, you know? That doesn't mean I impose that on anyone else. I intend to give them a look that's most empowering for them, you know? For example, last week I had this woman, her transformations were huge, like a divorce, moving, all this stuff. She had one length hair to here. So I find out what her spirit animals are, whatever I'm guided to really grasp an understanding of what she's going through and who she's becoming. And because she's in front of me, I'm to believe that she's ready to really go through this transformation. So I feel her hair, it's really thick, it's really heavy, it's beautiful and long. It's like, okay, why don't we lose all the weight and give you movement so you can fly? So let's drop the other half, like let's drop the dead stuff, you know? And we ended up with a pile of hair that was like half her head. But it didn't look like it, you know? She had the same length, but we framed her face, so it wasn't all this heavy, like, you know, it framed her face, hair started moving around, you know? And the interesting thing, like, I mean, it's pretty recent, so I'm just discovering how that's supporting her. But one thing I can share is, like, I talked to her 3 times before the haircut, and it was I'm very sensitive, so it was a little hard for me to manage her energy. I could tell she was in a state of panic, she was really stressed, she was in this tornado, and I just was like, tried to be this grounding force and like bring her through to who she really is. And after the haircut, I've spoken to her twice, and she sounds like another person.
Isn't that interesting? You can hear it in the voice?
Yeah, I can hear it in the voice. Like before she came in, I didn't know what was going on with her. I'm like, well, I can tell something's going on with you. What's going on? And she did. I'm like, okay, yeah, that's heavy stuff. So how about we let go of that, you know? And as we cut, it's like your hair's, it's got your DNA in it. It's got memory of your experiences, your emotions, what you drank, what you ate, and the pills you took, like where you went, you know? And so as we cut that away, I mean, I believe it really is literally like cutting away, like you don't have to carry that anymore. You don't
History.
The history, yeah. So a new beginning. And also the movement, it was like all at the back of her head, so it's like, God, so there's all this weight. You can't really move your neck, you know, like if it's lighter, you can move your head, you can dance, you can, you know.
Freedom.
Freedom, yeah. So that was one example.
Kind of a personal question. Did you just redo Ray's hair? I
Yeah.
thought so. It's him.
Yeah.
It's even more him than he was before.
Yeah. Yeah, you needed like that superhero.